Have you ever sniffed something and immediately thought, no, absolutely not, and then picked it up 6 months later and wondered what was wrong with you for the first time? Because your nose is genuinely not the same today as it was a year ago. And I have 6 fragrances to prove it. Welcome back, I'm Diana, and this is a channel for perfume lovers who enjoy a good conversation about fragrance. And today's topic is something I think every collector will relate to. Your nose changes. Not in a vague way, literally. What you can detect, what you find beautiful, what makes you go absolutely not, all of it evolves as your collection grows and your experience deepens. I have over 400 perfumes at this point. At some point, I eventually stopped counting, and these 6 are the ones that surprise me the most. 5 are full redemption arcs, and 1 went the other way around. So let's get into it. Starting with Libre L'Absolu Platine from YSL, a flanker that leans into one ingredient that divided a lot of people, including me: aldehydes. The notes include aldehydes, mandarin and bergamot on the top, lavender and orange blossom at the heart, and amber and vanilla in the base. So, when I first tested this, the aldehydes felt almost clinical, flat, soapy, like they had ironed out all the personality of the Libre DNA. I put it down and then I thought, this is not for me. You may think that these aldehydes simply don't belong to the Libre universe. And first, I absolutely agreed. But when I went back on with a fresh nose much later, as the first fragrance of the day, of course, nothing else in the mix in my nose, I completely understood it. The aldehydes aren't harsh here. They are rather airy and lifting, and they take the lavender and the orange blossom and make them feel more luminous rather than heavy. Like, trying to hear a song with cotton wool in your ears, and then suddenly everything becomes clear. It's refined, cool, almost platinum in the feel. I reach for this in spring and summer when I want something polished and quiet. From YSL into serious niche territory, Amouage Guidance. If you know, then you know. Amouage fragrances are not subtle. They do statement. Dense, rich, complex. And Guidance is exactly that. The notes include hazelnut, pear, olibanum, osmanthus, rose, saffron, jasmine, sandalwood, vanilla, akigaya wood, and ambergris. And from the first spray, this fragrance absolutely announces itself. That was my exact problem. The opening hit me, and I thought, no, this is too much. Too thick, too intense, like walking into a room where incense has been burning for an hour, and the thickness from the hazelnut. No. I tested it once, I put it down, and I didn't go back for a while. And then I tested it twice, and for the third time. But here is what complex niche fragrances taught me. They really require patience. They are not designed for first impressions. They are designed to reveal themselves. So I went back to Guidance several times, and I started focusing on the dry down rather than the opening. So somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes in, it became genuinely beautiful. A beautiful, lush, thick rose with the right amount of sweetness and oomph for colder days. It is absolutely intoxicating, a beautiful addition to your nightgown or to your date night. This next one is from a house that I don't think gets nearly enough attention. And you know what? I'd love to change that a little today. It is Pallas Athene from Argos. So the name comes from the Greek goddess of wisdom, and there is something regal and considered about this fragrance. It is not trying to be trendy, it is trying to be timeless. The notes include red berries, bergamot, grapefruit, peony, rose, violet, vanilla, amber, iris, patchouli, and vetiver. And the combination that defines it, amber alongside beautiful red fruits and rose. And this is exactly where I got stuck initially. Amber and I have a complicated relationship. In certain fragrances, it can sit heavily on my skin. And when I first tested Pallas Athene, I kept bumping up against it. I could smell how interesting the red fruits were, but the amber kept interrupting me. You may think that if two notes feel like they are pulling against each other, they just don't belong together. And that was my first read. But what I came to understand is that the amber here is not really competing with the red fruits. It's their foundation. It's what gives them the richness, the warmth, so they read as velvety and rather layered, not just sweet and fruity. So once my nose stopped resisting amber and I listened to the full composition, I got it completely. This is a fragrance that knows exactly what it is, and now so do I. Just a quick pause. If you are enjoying this, make sure that you are subscribed because there is a lot more fragrance content coming. But back to the orcs, and this next one is the plot twist of the video. So not all of today's stories have a happy ending. This one goes the other direction. And we are talking about Nishane, Vain and Naive. So Nishane is a Turkish niche house that creates bold, maximalist fragrances, and Vain and Naive has this playful, pretty character on top of it. On first testing, I was genuinely enchanted. I bought the full bottle. It felt fun and light and exactly what I was looking for. I thought, love story confirmed. But as I wore it more, something started to surface that I couldn't ignore. And kind of oily quality, and not a good kind of, not a rich sandalwood or luxurious musk, something my nose started read off as slightly off. And everywhere there was it again. I held on for a while, thinking maybe next time it will be different. Maybe it was the weather or just the day, but no. Every single time after a while, that same quality would emerge, and slowly my love for it unraveled. So Vain and Naive has just left my collection, and I want to say clearly this is not a bad fragrance. I have seen people in the Fracom absolutely raving about it, and on the right skin type, it can be gorgeous. But my skin had some other ideas. Sometimes more wears means more information. And information isn't always what you hoped for. Now, the fragrance I am the most embarrassed about. 3 acts, full arc, and we are talking about Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. The notes include red berries and pear on the top, then gardenia, jasmine at the heart, and patchouli, brown sugar in the base. So, Act 1, I smelled this and I loved it. Light, playful, joyful, perfect. Act 2, and this is where I cringe. Somewhere along the way, my nose turned on it completely. I picked it up and I genuinely thought it smelled like cat pee. I know. I have said this out loud multiple times. I don't know, something in the florals, probably the gardenia, was interacting with my chemistry. It was reading animalic and completely off-putting. I set it down and then I thought, we are done here. I even decluttered it. Watch my declutter video. But then, Act 3, which is now, I picked it up again out of curiosity. Almost didn't bother, but hey, I loved it. The cat pee is completely gone. What I smell is joyful, sparkly floral with a beautiful soft dry down, and it makes me smile every single time. I I don't fully understand the science of it, but I'm not questioning it. This is a summer afternoon in the bottle, light, cheerful, and one of the most reached for casual daytime wears. So, 3 acts and a happy ending. And we are finishing on a sweet note, literally. Our final fragrance is Lancôme La Belle Vanille Nude. So the La Belle line is genuinely iconic. It is one of the best-selling feminine fragrances of the modern era. Vanille Nude takes that warm DNA and softens it into something lighter, something more translucent, more skin-like. The notes include solar notes and jasmine in the top, and then vanilla at the heart. And it is that gentle, kind, intimate, quiet vanilla, not sticky, not heavy. And we have musk in the base that will balance this vanilla beautifully and creates that intoxicating scent trail. Now, this might be the most relatable thing I will share today. When I first tested this, I could not smell it. Really, barely anything. I even remember thinking, am I sure that I actually sprayed it? It was almost comically invisible. You might think if a fragrance performs that poorly, it's simply a weak fragrance. I completely understand it. But here is what I would say. Nose fatigue is a real thing. After testing several fragrances in a row, your olfactory receptors genuinely struggle to pick up anything new. And a soft, intimate fragrance like this one is the first casualty. Then I got a sample and I came back to Vanille Nude on a completely fresh nose after 5 months of waiting for it. You know, first fragrance of the morning, no other scents in the room, and I was genuinely struck by how lovely it was. Soft, clean, vanilla, warmth without being heavy, like, like a cashmere blanket on a quiet, cool morning. Same fragrance, but entirely different experience. And that moment where you think you've made up your mind and then something surprises you. This is just honestly one of my favorite things about being a fragrance collector. So those are my 6, 5 redemption arcs and one honest departure, because sometimes love just doesn't translate. And if there is one thing I hope you take away, give fragrances more than one chance. Your nose changes, the seasons change. A fragrance that doesn't speak to you today might completely surprise you in 6 months. I would love to know in the comments, have you ever changed your opinion on a fragrance? Come and tell me your story, because I always read the comments and I genuinely love hearing from you. If you enjoyed the video, a thumbs up really does help this channel to grow. And if you are not subscribed, then I'd love to have you here. Take care of yourselves and just don't forget to keep on smelling good and feeling good. Bye bye.